Okay, it's time to get started. Let's move on. So this is the actual state that we have been working on. So we have finished emulating the CPU. We have finished emulating the bus. It is still incomplete, but it is kinda in place. And the next step on the tutorial that we are following is loading the cartridge. That means loading the NES ROM. So just to a little recap, let's see what was the last thing we have done this time. So we created this test game. So it is loading an assembly code of the Snake game, and it has a very hard-coded screen of 32 by 32 pixels, and we can play the Snake game. Just hitting play, and I can move around using the input and collect the apples. And if I hit myself or hit the borders of the screen, the game will end. So I move out and the game ended. See, it's not blinking anymore, nothing else is happening. So this is the full Snake game running in our emulated CPU. CPU is cool, but it's not the entire console. And yep, let's see what is the next. According to this tutorial, I have not yet written anything about it. So let's see what it says. The first version of the cartridge was relatively simple. They carried two banks of ROM memory, program ROM for code and CHR ROM for visual graphics. Upon insertion into the console, program ROM gets connected to the CPU and CHR ROM gets connected to the PPU. So on a hardware level, CPU wasn't able to access CH-ROM directly, and PPU wasn't able to access program ROM. Later versions of cartridges had additional hardware, mappers to provide access to extended ROM memory, both CH-ROM and program ROM, and extra RAM with a battery to save and restore game state. However, we won't be working with cartridges. Emulator works with files containing dumps of ROM spaces. There are several file formats for ROM dumps. The most popular one is INES, designed by Marat Faisali. I won't follow that link. So this is more or less what the file has, I guess. The file contains 3 or 4 sections, depending on this, I guess. 16 bytes header, which is the first byte. Optional to 512 bytes of the so-called trainer, a data section created by Famicom copiers to keep their own mapping. We can skip this section if it is present. Section containing program ROM code and section containing CHR ROM data. So size depends on a 4-byte header and a 5-byte header. And the question is, how does it define if it has a trainer or not? I guess we will find out that soon. The header is the most interesting part. So string NES hat seed used to recognize .NET file. So yes, I guess that is hard-coded. Number of 16 KB ROM banks, program ROM. Number of 8 KB virtual ROM banks, CH-ROM. Control byte 1 and 2. So control byte, I assume, is some sort of how was this called? I don't quite remember. checksum. Yes, that is what I was trying to remember. Checksums. So after the control by 2, we have size of program RAM in 8 kilobytes unit, and then we have some reserved space, but we don't have the meaning of this byte. So I suppose we will find out later, or maybe it was just part of the rest. So control byte 1 and 2 and control byte 2, byte 6 and 7 on the header, yes, contain additional info about the data in files, but it's packed in bits. Ah, so they are flags. So we have 1 for vertical mirroring, 0 for horizontal mirroring, 1 for battery bucket RAM. So this means if it uses or not the battery RAM. 1 means this byte means it uses the trainer. So that was the question. Is answered now. 4 screen virtual RAM layout, and I don't know exactly what that means. And 4 lower bytes for the ROM mapper type. I yet don't know what this means, so we will find out later, I guess. Here comes byte 2. It uses. So this byte should be this bit should be a 0 according to the NES format, file format, and this one should also be 0. And these 2 bytes are 10 or 0, that is 3 or 0. And it depends on the file format that we are reading. Okay. 4 upper bits. So we have the lower bits and the upper bits of the ROM mapper type. So for some reason it is making a byte packed into 2 halves of 2 bytes. Okay. So I understand what this is, and I think I know what is like the first part of reading the file. We won't cover and support the NES 2.0 format, as it is not very popular, but you can find formal specification of both NES versions. Okay, that's cool. This would be cool to look for a stretch after the emulator is completely done, I suppose. So for now, I guess we can choose throw an error if the NES version is not the version 1.0. The very minimum information we care about is the program room, the THR room, the mapper type, and the mirroring type. So mirroring will be extensively covered on the following PPU chapters. For now, we needed to figure out which mirroring type the game is. We would support only the NES 1.0 format and Mapper 0. Mapper 0 essentially means no mapper. The CPU reads both THR and program ROM as is. Let's define cartridge ROM data structure. So we have an enum for mirroring and a base ROM class for the program and THR memory values. A mapper is like right, it's the mapper type, but we did not create an enum for it apparently. And mirroring. So let's do that. Let's start creating files for the ROM interface. So let's make a script called NES ROM. and it will inherit ref counted. So class name is gonna be NES ROM instead of just ROM, and we are going to create our enum for mirroring. And we have vertical, horizontal, and 4 screen. Vertical, horizontal, and 4 screen. So we have a packet byte array for the program from. Let's actually make a side by side here so we can follow along more comfortably. There we go. Let's hide this. Now we can follow along better. So this is a packet byte array. CHR ROM is going to be another packet byte array. The mapper is going to be the mapper type. So we don't have a mapper type enum, but let's create it. So we don't know any other kind of mapper type. So let's just call it no mapper, and that is all. This one is going to be a mapper type equals mapper type dot no mapper by default, and then the last one would be the screen mirroring, like mirroring, and by default equal, actually no default, it will be vertical by default because it is simply the 0 value. Then we need to write the code to parse binary data. So the function is going to take a raw file apparently. So our init. So that I can think of two ways of creating it. One is from the raw file and the other is from the file path. But the init function, sorry, it was func init, is going to take the packet byte array. Nothing more relaxing than watching Marian code while I am eating. Well, I have just finished eating. It was nice. Raw data is packet byte array. So I have to remember to make a duplicate of this array. Just note to self. And it say result ROM string. What does that mean? I don't know yet. But anyway, init just returns void on GdScript. So it is getting a slice and it's comparing to a constant. If the raw data slice and it starts at 0 and ends at 4, not equals NES tag, which we are going to define right away using underscore. So the NES tag are this string, this NES seed, and it equals, I will be reading from here, OX4E. I will hide this for a moment. Is that Rust code? Yes, the code, the tutorial that we are following to make the emulator was a tutorial writing for Rust. See? And I am adapting it to GdScript. So that was a big part of the complications that I had writing the CPU, because Rust has signed and unsigned integers of all the sizes, and GdScript only has signed a 64-bit integer. So I had to make some manual conversion when operating with the byte. So let's move on. So next is 45, OX45, OX53, OX1A, and that is the 4 bytes, yes. So we have 0, 1, 2, and 3. So then this is not slice 0 to 4, this is 0 to 3, because it's inclusive. What is the error? Yes, so we have to continue the if condition. So this is basically a failure. So let's do this. Let's make let's make an internal bar loading error, and this is of type error. Oh, there is no error type. I don't like that. So error is not an enum, so we are going to have to use integer, and it will be equal to OK by default. So function get loading error, and it will return an integer, and it will return the loading error. Func get loading error string will return a string, and we are going to pass error string loading error. So this one returns the code, this one returns the description. Oh yes, return. And what about the performance? Because Rust you have the borrow method, but GdScript, if I understand, it's simple garbage collector. Yes, it has the ref counted class that works for reference counting, and no, it does not have garbage collection like in C#, but it is still a virtual machine similar to Python or similar to JavaScript. So it is not the best, but it is the good thing of this is that it will work on any platform, unlike if I try to make it with C# or something like that. So this is very portable, it will work anywhere, and an NES emulator does not take that much of a loading. Like it will work, right? You know what I mean? there is no reason of why any computer being able to run Godot should be able to run this emulator, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so init. So if this is no, then loading error is going to be equal error. What would be file bad drive, bad path, can read in use, can't open, can read, can write, file corrupt, missing dependency. I think file corrupt makes sense, or file unrecognized, but I think this is more related to the extension. Invalid data. Corrupt sounds good. Okay, let's go with file corrupt. Okay. So, yep, that should be. So, return error, file is not in NES program. We can also make an assertion, but I don't want to make an assertion. Instead, I will push an error, and we'll send this same message. File is not in INES file format. So mapper is going to be right. It's taking the 4 bytes from the row 7, from the 8-bit. It's this one, right? No. Why is it? It's controlled by 2. It's the 7th one, and the 6th one is controlled by 1. Okay. So it is taking the last 4 bytes and shifting it to the start. So let's do that. Var mapper of type int equals, is it the same name? Yes, it is the same name. So I would also like to make sure that the file size is big enough. So I will add a to-do comment here. Bigger or equal . What is mean size? Okay, so now with that check I can make sure that I can assign a mapper. Mapper 5. Okay, so we are going to take the raw data byte 7 and the binary first bit . Aha, and it is making an OR condition with b raw data 6, taking the last 4 bits in the first 4 bits positions. So var INES version equals, it takes the 2 bytes from control. So let's do this. So we have the NES tag. Let's define some constants for this information. So we have const PRG from index int, and this is equals to 4. chroom so this is count. This is a count. And this is the 5 over 5. This was chr from count, and this is control 1 index, control byte 1, and control byte 2, and this is a 6, and this is a 7. So we don't need to use magic numbers in here, so we can use the control byte 2 and the control byte 1. So I can make a new line here and I choose the position or something. Yeah, something like that. So NES version equals raw data. So let's rename this to choose raw, because otherwise it's going to be too big for our screen. Okay. raw control byte 2 shifted 2 bytes and only getting the last 2 bits. So if NES version not equals 0, we are setting a loading error. Duplicate file, cannot read, and the file missing dependency, not found, no permission. No, Control D doesn't work on this Godot because it just selects. So see, it only selects the variable and does not rename every single instance. I am not using VS Code. This is just Godot scripting editor. It works. I know I can use Control R for renaming, for replacing, sorry. Edit, evaluate, line, folding, completion, trim, indentation, convert case, syntax highlighter. I don't find anything on any edit. Fine. If I do Control T multiple times. Oh, I see. That's interesting. So that's how it works. That's very valuable to me. Thanks. Where is my music? There we go. So, what do you think should be compilation file, connection error? File missing dependencies, not found, no permission, unrecognized, invalid declaration, invalid data, valid parameter. Skip timeout, unavailable. So it should be corrupted or should be invalid data? Because I don't see anything about version. Or unsupported. Unsupported media type. I just don't want to fight with the Godot existing errors. So yes, I could create an error enum. I suppose you're right. So enum loading error and create okay, b equals to 0 before, and this one is file corrupt, and unsupported version. So now this loading error will be of this type. So we have like file corrupt and unsupported. Well, how did I write it? Unsupported version. Oh yes, so this is loading error dot okay. Loading error dot file corrupt and loading error dot unsupported version. And now this one, instead of using error string, we'll use loading error dot find key loading error. So find key will return the key, which is the name of whatever constant we have or whatever value we have in this variable. So yeah, so NES error could be an error on the ROM, or could be an error on the CPU, or could be an error in anywhere. So this file is particularly the ROM file, and this enum is particularly for the ROM. So I could name it ROM error. Yes, loading error is of type loading error because I defined it in here. So I am using type hints. Okay. So now I can push error, unsupported NES version, and make it a string command and passing get loading error string. Wait, no, this is not what I want. I want to say what is the version that is unsupported, so I put a D and pass NES version. Okay, and return. So next, full screen. Bar is for screen equals raw. Control byte. Why it doesn't autocomplete? What? For some reason it doesn't autocomplete. And will be 1 cannot be not equal 0. Scope problems? I don't think so, because constant is like a local indentier class. Control D. Yeah. Bar is vertical mirroring. Equals raw 6. And OB1 Kenobi, not 0. Yes, this is P raw, not raw. So I could put parentheses just for the sake of reading. And I also should say these are of type boolean, also for the sake of reading. This is an integer. We are fine up to this point. Next is screen mirroring. So, question, should we be assigning these values instead of creating variables? Like, I understand maybe you will have incomplete information if you got an error, but I think that is fine even in that case. I find no reason to not assign this, because this is an initialization, it's not a function that will return the value or the error. So I will just use the variables. Screen mirroring equals let's make it more obvious. If is for screen, then screen mirroring is going to be mirroring for screen. else if is vertical mirroring. Then screen mirroring equals mirroring vertical else screen mirroring equals mirroring horizontal. So this is the equivalent to this match sentence. Do we want to keep the ifs or we want to do something more like this? Like using the Python well, in my opinion, matches are a little difficult to read, but I understand it has a lot of convenience. So bar hierarchy from size integer equals raw, and this is times hierarchy from page size. So now we have to set these constants. So this is in 16 kilobytes. So 16 kilobytes. How much is that? 1 kilobyte is 124, right? So it's 124 times 16. That is the size. Oh, I could also make it like this. And the papaya. Don't touch my match. Okay. It's very convenient, more than if. Yes, I agree on that, and it has a lot of functions that we cannot yet do on GdScript, but there was some work in progress for making matching expressions instead of yes, this was praw. So let me see if I can find it. Godot Engine on GitHub or Godot proposals. And let's see what is the state of that. Let's make it a little smaller to search. Match, and let's see what it says of match. And match keyword save type narrowing, review updating line colors, add a write system, improve performance, lambda. Add guard to match patterns. in GdScript, maybe like this. See, so it matches the array, so what? Yes, so this is what I have seen before. So this is what they would like to see. So you can match an array and extract variables from whatever you are matching, and then use the condition. So you can have stuff like that. So this is the proposal. This is the current implementation, and this is the proposal. So you match this case, and if this condition happens, then it will do this, and if this other condition happens, it will do this. So this is more or less the intention. So you can put the value of whatever you are matching into one or many variables, and then put an if condition for the guard. The way that the boost works. So I don't understand quite well, but it is more or less the same. It's like a kind of unzip in Python. What? Yeah, so the thing is that it comprises the syntax in much less lines, and it is like kind of faster or easier to read. But it's strange, right? So this is the issue that tracks the development of the feature. And it's still open, so it's not implemented. Okay. You can already use condition with match, does not extract the pattern. So do you mean that you can use an statement on the match, or you mean that you can use an expression on the variable? Anyway, I have not used it yet, and I don't know if I will be able to use it. We could try, so we could try to make. We could try to make this match, and we can create an array. Is for screen is vertical mirroring. So the first condition is true any, and the other condition, the next condition is false true, and this will be vertical, and the last condition would be false false. This is missing a colon here, so we are matching an array of booleans, and this should indeed work. Like, there is no reason this doesn't work. I was unsure this underscore would work, but seems it does. So yes, that was actually a very good idea to use this. Cool. Very cool. Thank you very much, Fubar. So what is next? So we have obtained the room size. Oh yes, so the next is the CHR what? CHR room page size. So it's 124 times 8 kilobytes. Is that correct? Yes, 8 kilobytes of VROM banks. Okay, see you next time, Maxi. Nice to see you. Okay, so I have a date with Python and Jupyter. Well, I wish you luck with your date. CHR room size of like int equals praw prc no CHR from own index times CHR from page size. Okay, so we now have the size, so we can check if we have to skip the trainer. So it says bar skip trainer. It's of type boolean. I prefer has trainer, and it equals to raw control byte 1 was the 6, right? Yes, 1 was the 6, and OB100 not 0. What did I do wrong? Oh, because raw doesn't exist. I keep doing the same mistake. Okay. Program ROM start. So bar program ROM start equals 16 plus 512 if has trainer is 0. This in parentheses. And this is bar CHR from start equals PRC from start plus PRC from size. That should be all famous last words. So what I find interesting is it never assigned raw to anything, did it? Oh, okay, so here is the assignment. Okay. So now it makes PRC ROM equals to praw live PRC ROM size until hierarchy from size plus hierarchy. Wait. It was a start, not size. Start and start plus size. Should this be -1? Because slice is inclusive, if I remember correctly. Is not? If fatal, begin and end are negative, they will be relative to the end of the array. Okay. Slice 1. Okay, end is exclusive. Okay, this is what I wanted to know. So yes, we don't need to make a -1. So chr rom equals craw.slide chr from start should be rom. Thank you, Maxi. And the end would be chrom. Will you implement a resource format importer saver to read NES ROMs as a resource? That could be a good idea, actually. It depends on if it would be useful or not. It sounds like it could be a good idea to make it a resource and make an importer so the NES ROMs can be packed with the game. So that could be a good idea. I could make a task to not forget it. Consider making NES ROM a resource and create a resource importer. How is it called? Sorry, resource format importer. Resource format loader. So the difference between format importer or format loader is it will create another file to represent the original file, right? I mean loader, not importer. Yes, so any one of them could work. Actually, I don't know if importer is a class or not. I have only used the loader. So yes, let's keep that in the backlog for now. We could take a look at it later. So we have chr from size for the end. Okay. The resource format loader will have a custom method to import the file format. Yes, so you can implement a virtual method to return where to save the imported version of the ROM. Yes. So the mapper is set and the screen mirroring is set. So this should be correct. Famous last word. And allows Godot to handle NES ROMs as a resource. Yes, so my only question to that is, so the thing is, do we need, it should probably be that, I don't know if there is some risk on including like a legal risk on including a file on a project that belongs to someone else, but that is not specifically my problem, right? And as far as I know, changing the format of the file, because making an importer would drop that NES file and would use this format. These 4 things would become export variables, and it will be saved like this in text or binary format instead of the original NES file. And I personally don't have any problem with that. I just wondered, then init cannot be executed like this because resources don't have this, but anyway, this would be part of the importer, not part of the class. But yes, it still makes sense. Okay, correct. Don't forget to test. Yeah, okay. I can test, I guess. Static func on file, load from file, and we get a file path as a string, and we are going to return an NES ROM. So we get, if not, path, file access dot file exists, path, push error unexisting file, and pass the path. Cannot load NES ROM from an existing file, and return a null. And then say path ROM for NES ROM new. Let's make an empty array for now, and then return a ROM. So now we stop getting that error. Can you share the GitHub link for the NES file format manual? So what do you mean? You mean my emulator GitHub link? That is this one. GTNES Git. If what you want is the tutorial that I am following, this is the current chapter. And if what you want is the example code generated from this chapter from the original creator in Rust, is this link. So we have a lot of things to check. So if we ever get logged at some point, we can look at the Rust source code and check how it is done the right way. So now we check if the file exists. Now we can say var raw file equals file access dot open the path red and get buffer, or there is a get as It should be get buffer probably. And is length mandatory? So which other one returns a packet byte array? Get files at bytes. Oh, it's a static one. Okay, that's even better. Get file at bytes. And not even set to read. And this is a packet byte array. And now we can pass the raw file. Okay, awesome. So let's see if we can make a scene to test the ROM file. So in test, let's create a... Okay, this is a little too small. Let's work full screen. Folder NES ROM test. And the NES ROM test is going to have a scene with the same name, I guess. And we want to also add a ROM file to this folder. So, do we have a ROM to test in here? You can download your first NES ROM dump file on here. Oh, the snake game. Okay. So where are you stored? Download snake.net. Okay. So I will drag and drop it here. Let's see if it shows or not in the file manager. Yes, it is on the file manager. Okay, awesome. So let's try to test this. Oh, so I accidentally created a node 2D. Let's make it a node instead. Let's make this the main scene of the project. Run. Test the ROM. And let's make a script for this. This is not a test. Just make it a default. So let's say var ROM equals NES ROM dot load from file, and we pass the path. It would be something like this, but ending with snake.net. And let's put a breakpoint to see what is inside. And let's print if ROM equals no print loading file. In fact, I could make an assertion because this is a test. Actually, it is instantiation. Failed. And then for error is of time NES room loading error. Oh, it doesn't find the num. I will read you right away. Equals room dot get loading error. If error not equal NES room dot loading error dot okay. Okay, let's actually assert this. Failed to load file with error. From dot get loading error string. And let's try to run this and see what it looks like. Okay. So what was he saying? Pass the file length with get length. Oh, interesting. Is that new in Godot 4 method? I don't think so. We need to instantiate the class. Is the singleton in your project? What is that a static method? So yeah, so I created an NES ROM as a class, so you can use class name, and that I think this is like Godot 3. And when you cannot have static variables, you can only have variables and constants, but you can have a static function load from file. So, and load from file is using this other static function file access. From file access, if I control click it, it says it is static. So it returns the whole file as a packet by terabyte. So I think there was some proposal for making static variables, but they are still not supported as far as I know. So let's try to run this and see how it goes. So we got to the breakpoint without errors, and error says is 1. So we got no, we should have this assertion. Alright, we should assert is equals to okay. Okay, now we failed with file corrupt. If we look at our function, file corrupt means that it is not, this is failing to read the initial. So let's see what are the first variable, the first argument. So sadly we cannot see this as a hex code. So from 0 to 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see what do we expect from it. Wait a second. So slice was exclusive on the last one, so this one should be a 4. So let's try that again. And now using a 4, it passed. Okay, let's move on. And we got to the breakpoint, and the error is 0. And yep, we have 0 mapper, no mirroring, no loading error, but we don't have any CHR room. Everything is on the program room. I don't know the get file as bytes in 3.x. So I think this is correct because the Snake game did not have anything for rendering. It just takes pixels. So I don't know if we could use this class, the NES ROM class, in the other test without a lot of modification, but at least we know that it loads, right? So, we made a test for it, and we could try to use a different file, like let's in example take else Dragon's NES file. So if I search, I am looking in my other screen, games, ROMs, NES. So let's take the cutscene NES. So first I will show you what it is. Let's see if I can open RetroArch. And maybe I can drag and drop the file. Okay, it doesn't work. So I can load the code. Okay, this is the file that I am going to load. I will pause the music for a second. So this is a game that is currently under development, that Else Dragon and I don't remember the nickname, but his name was Roland, are making on a stream during it was what, Thursdays or Tuesdays. I don't remember the days of the week on English, sorry, but it would be tomorrow. Tomorrow about this time they will be developing this game for the NES using assembler and Photoshop and another set of tools. And let's try to load this NES file with our ROM loader and see what happens. So I will drag and drop it in here, and let's change this to cutscene.nes and relaunch, and we got unsupported version. So I guess we don't support this game for now. We could try to support it eventually. That's sad, but okay. And I assume this one will have the same effect. It was Purple World. .nes. Okay, what happened? Begin is bigger than end. Alright, because it's start plus. Okay. Okay, so we removed the breakpoint, so we did not get to that point. So let's just add it quite fast. And now we should be able to pick what we have. Okay, we have no char room. That is strange. I don't quite like that. Maybe the size that I expected to have does not match some criteria. We could try to inspect the files and see if what we are reading is correct, instead of trying to make assumptions. So let's try to see what the ROM is reading from the start. This is a non-official file, so it could not be the best example. Why is it not advancing? Okay, it seems to have crashed. Let's restart it. give it a shot. And now we got the breakpoint, and let's see if we can start advancing on it. Okay. Mapper. So maybe mapper should be an integer. Duplicate this to keep it and make it an integer. Just to make sure we are not breaking some assumption and this is not being read correctly. So if I remove that type checking, now mapper equals to true. So there was some mapper and I was setting it to no mapper because of the num. Anyway, NES version, check, and the INES version says 0. Full screen. So let's see what is the raw values. I wish I could change the formatting of this. So we will have to use the calculator for this. And how do I handle this? Anyway, let's move this for now. And let's find what we want to check. So byte control is the 6th one and it's 33. And the 7th one is 0. So if I make it 33 on decimal, this is the binary. So it is indeed a 2 for the mapper, and for the other bytes, let's do a quick lookup. It's a 2 for the mapper type, and it's false to full screen, false for trainer, false for battery, and 1 for vertical mirroring. So it is going to have vertical mirroring according to this. So let's move on. And indeed it is setting vertical mirroring. So let's check about the ROM size. So the ROM count size is on the byte 6, and on the byte 6 we have, wait a second, I was looking wrong. It was on the byte 4, not on the byte 6. Program ROM count. ROM count. Okay, it was on the ROM 4. It has 16. And the char has 0. So 16 by 16. That's a little strange. I am wondering if maybe this is, if I am making something wrong. So let's keep mapper as integer and remove the num for now. We should not try with unknown file for now. What is next? So let's follow along the tutorial instead of trying stuff so randomly. So we need to write code to parse the binary data. We have done that. As always, don't forget to test. Next, connect ROM to the bus. So the bus is going to have a ROM. Yes, so you can create a bus from a ROM. And finally, we need to map address space 8000 to 10,000 to the cartridge program ROM space. Program ROM size might be 16 kilobytes or 32 kilobytes. Because of this, mapped region is 32 kilobytes of addressable space. The upper 16 kilobytes needs to be mapped to the lower 16 kilobytes if game has only 16 kilobytes of program ROM. So, what does that mean? Implement memory for both. If address is in this range, then it will read the program ROM Okay, got it. So I kind of get what is the idea. So before moving on to this, I want to commit what we have right now. So let's take a look. Let's remove the files that we don't want first. Let's open a bash. Git status, git add, and what is new here? Okay, we changed the initial file. So let's add everything. And what we don't want in here, we don't want purple word or cutscene.nes. Git remove cutscene.nes. Okay, we cannot use wildcard. Okay, so we have to make the whole file path. No, I actually want to remove it. Okay, let's just use rm. Now purple word. And now we add the change. And the files are no longer there, meaning that we have changed this script to use the snake.nes. So, what is the idea? Git commit, implement NES room class to represent cartridge read only memory. And yeah, I'm going to be honest, I am kinda tired already, so let's stop here for now. This has been git push origin main. Git push origin main. This has been quite productive today, and thank you for watching. So let's see you next Saturday night for me. Okay, cheers! We have done just a little progress in the reading of the ROM. So we are about this, maybe? I am not quite sure. Yes, because we have reading the content and now we have to plug it into the board. So we are midway of the ROM loading. Okay. So see you later next time. Bye.